Well, you might be looking at me saying, look at this tech geek on his 12 point whatever inch laptop, and it looks like any other laptop, right? But the minute I'm done with scripting the show for this week, did you say laptop? This is a 17.3 inch tablet. It can become a reader if I want to, and then if I want to watch Tech Today on YouTube, on the Business Today channel, I can use it on this handle, on the stand right here, and voila. I have this ready to use, and then if I get a call from the boss and I need to write a script very quickly, well, you can put it right here, and if you want to leave the studio and then head to Hawaii for the next Snapdragon Summit or whatever we're doing, then you can do this as well. Now, the real question is, can the Asus Zenbook 17 Fold OLED, that's quite a tongue twister, can this all-in-one foldable, the biggest foldable laptop there is, convince an Indian buyer to shell out the big bucks? That's what we're going to find out on Tech Today. When I said shell out the big bucks, I meant it. Nearly 3.3 lakh rupees for this all-in-one device, which comes in the massive box that we had already unfolded it from. Unfolded or unboxed? Well, either way, this is a device which costs as much as a small car. So the real question should have been, should you buy maybe an Alto or this particular Zenbook Fold? Jokes aside, this is not necessarily a purchase decision for you. What I want this review to serve as is showcase what the tech of tomorrow is going to look like, because if this is the future, then we have it with us in a 17-inch frame. And I mean that because whilst this does, and we showed it to you, look like an ordinary laptop, this is a detachable keyboard which needs to be charged separately through a USB-C. Great, but then now there's several modes in which you can use this laptop, and somehow I'm not quite sure if reviewers around the world have showcased each and every mode. The first one, of course, is the traditional laptop mode. In this mode, this is a 12.5-inch screen. It's a neat little setup with a keyboard. What's the experience like? It's a little wobbly. While they promise this is like other Asus laptops with the keyboard, it's kind of different. It does the job, but it takes some getting used to. Also, the response slightly, maybe 0.5% different from a laptop experience. If you don't want to use, well, this keyboard, then you can always use a virtual keyboard right here. If you have left space on your desk, what you can do is you can continue to use this device in this particular folded mode. So number one was, of course, the laptop mode. Number two is if you fold it this way. Number three is if you go all flat on it and then use it like this. It's kind of heavy, it's kind of bulky, but if you have a 17.3-inch OLED screen, very vivid, very vibrant colors, it'll be a lot of fun to watch content and to watch your favorite show, Tech Today, on this foldable laptop. If you genuinely want to watch it on this table, the back, there is this kickstand right here. Nice, neat little leather, rubberized sort of flap right here. Perfect viewing angle. And like you can see, it's a mini OLED TV right here in front of you. Again, if you want to use this like a PC, connect your mouse, connect this keyboard, it's already connected, and then you can use this like a laptop, a PC. This is another mode. What is the last mode that you can use this in? Which is if you're reading your Kindle, this fold and the crease is almost invisible. Samsung and the others making foldables, take a leaf out of their book, because such a massive screen and they've still made it possible to use this way. I am absolutely stumped that this particular hinge is almost invisible. The line, the crease is almost invisible. Most importantly, these two hinges on this side make this mechanism possible to fold this glass, this OLED screen, and they promise that you can do this 30,000 times. But that is how this particular laptop can be used in 5 or 7 different modes. It changes the user experience altogether. Testing. Can this also be used as a pair of binoculars? Maybe not. What I was trying to show you was that there is this gap if you don't have the keyboard in between, which is because, of course, this is folding glass. If you put the keyboard in there, And the fact is it's so easy to just snap it on magnetically and you close it, it becomes a lot heavier, nearly 2 kilos. But now that gap is almost minimal, which I think is kind of cool. At the back, it's got this cool design with the logo. It's all kept in this rubberized leather sort of case on the outside, and they claim that this is almost military grade. And I've done it once before, I can't do it again, but I'm going to try doing it anyways, just for the sake of family television viewing. Let me check if it's on red again. And you know, this is what we need to check with these particular devices. The keyboard is intact, and so is the screen. What's the display like? This particular display, when you open it up on the Zenbook 17 Fold, like the 17 suggests, comes with a 17.3-inch Fold OLED touchscreen, a 4:3 aspect ratio, a resolution of 2560 by 1920 pixels. But then, when you fold it, and of course, it's not in portrait mode, but you have made it a 12.5-inch laptop, this particular arrangement, a 12.5-inch display with a screen resolution of 1920 into 1280 pixels. So it comes with these two Thunderbolt 4 ports, which are located on the top and on the side, makes it much easier to charge the laptop. And then you can obviously spot the volume buttons on the other side and a 3.5mm audio jack along with the power button. What's strange is that whilst they've made such a beautiful, vivid 17.3-inch screen, which you just want to watch every World Cup match on, take it to bed, take it on the couch, start working with it, pretend to work on it while you're actually watching all sorts of content, especially this show. But I think Asus hasn't really advertised it with stylus or some sort of pen functionality, which is the opposite of what Apple and Microsoft do with their pens, and even Samsung with particular pens that Samsung makes for their foldable phones, which can be used on these sort of screens. They've not really advertised it, but I think that's because they want this screen to be a lot more durable. I don't think they want you using a stylus on this. The rubberized side of this frame is really a dust and fingerprint magnet. I've been trying to clean it up for this shoot several times, but it's been quite a task, so that's something you must keep in mind. The fact that this independent sheet of glass that they call the foldable, keyboard aside, has all these ports, is not that thick, so to speak, has this sort of cover at the back, and most importantly, has these fans in the corner, which I'm really impressed with, that if this is really going into a high performance sort of mode, you can expect it to cool down. What's under the hood of this foldable laptop? Well, it's powered by Intel's 12th gen range. If we're talking about it, it's the Core i7 having 10 cores and 4.7 GHz max frequency. Zoom calls shouldn't be an issue on this Windows laptop with a 5 megapixel camera here. There's more to the tech right here, because if you're using it as a laptop, it's great. If you use it with the way the issue crops up in an iPad like this, then yes, the sheet of glass will be a little strange because your look will always be a little wonky, but then you have the option of just using it like it should be. That said, it also comes with an IR camera for Windows Hello facial recognition. This camera can record videos in 1080p, 30 FPS, and of course you have all sorts of things like background filtering and movement tracking, which are possible if you're moving around with this particular laptop. But that's become very standard now after Apple came up with Center Stage, and I'm glad that Windows, Android, all of them are playing catch up. At the end of these videos, we always give you a verdict. I think it will be unfair to tell you whether to buy this or not. This is not everyone's cup of tea. What I can tell you is, in terms of technology, if you keep the price tag aside, this is amazing, immersive, futuristic tech with several use cases, and this is only version 1. I'm guessing when the next Zenbook Fold comes, maybe the 2 or 3, this will get a lot better. We'll have more colors, smaller bezels, snappier functionality, and a better graphics card. For now, this is a step in the right direction, a little too expensive for everyone, but yes, of course, if you have the big bucks, this is an absolute crowd puller.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.